Hey guys, and welcome back. So I thought I'd do an update on the computer system that I'm building for 3D printing and all the editing and stuff. So here it is. I'll give you a quick run through of what I've built and the problems I've hit, which I've seen a few people with this board have. So the board is a Gigabyte aorus x470. So it's running a Ryzen 7 1400 CPU with the RGB fan. I've got 16 gig of Kingston, sorry, not Kingston, Corsair Vergis RGB Pro RAM. I've got, what was it, 4 fans all up. So there's 2 on the front, 1 on the top, 1 on the back. And then I've got a EVGA Supernova Pro, or Supernova 450G, 850 G2, and an Strix 1060. It's not TI or anything, it's just standard 1060. And then a 27-inch curved monitor. So the problem I've got is I put all the computer together, thermal paste, all that stuff. I've had this problem before where it was just the CPU wasn't seated properly. So I pulled the computer to bits 2-3 times now. I've pulled all the cables off, put everything back on, and after 2 days of pulling it to bits, putting it back together, searching the internet high and low, I've found the issue which is most common with these boards. So if I power it on, if you look down here, these little lights flash. So right now it is sitting on the boot, not the boot, the CPU one, and the boot, so it flashes between them. But as you can see, the RAM lights up and looks awesome. So it does all its thing. Front panel lights up. I've got that lit up. So the problem I've found, I'll turn it off now, is that the motherboard BIOS sometimes aren't compatible with the Ryzen 7 CPUs. So I found a few people on forums and YouTube and that saying that they're having trouble and the computer won't boot. So if I turn it back on, I'll plug the HDMI cable in just to show you it's not actually doing anything. Where is it? Down there. Bench is a bit of a mess because of trying to do this. So if I plug that in to there and I turn the motherboard power supply back on, so lights are on, no output at all. So I've tried it with the graphics card in, still no output, so it's not that. What I've found is if in America, from what I've seen, if you contact AMD, they'll send you a CPU to put in and then update the BIOS. So right now, for some reason, the board doesn't register the CPU compatibility with the BIOS and it won't boot at all. So I'm getting no boot signal or anything like that. So being I can't contact AMD in New Zealand, I've tried calling their Australia helpline. I've tried calling Gigabyte to see if they can do anything. And I've contacted First Wave, I got the CPU off, and I've also contacted oh, about the bloody motherboard off. PC systems or something like that, and both of PC systems said that they have heard this problem before, but because they're only a seller, they can't send me a CPU to do the boot. So I'm going to go out and buy it's the cheapest option for me to do. It's either that or I got to replace the board, replace the CPU, and then I'll have to be buying another board, another CPU, and put it all back together. So this way, I'll be buying the AMD Atlas, I think it's the Atlas CPU. So it's just a basic 2-core CPU. It's AM4, so it's $100. It's the cheapest option you can buy here that I've found to put in to do the BIOS boot and all that kind of stuff. So pretty much it gets the computer running. I can put everything together, update the BIOS, pull the CPU back out, and put the Ryzen in. It's a bit of a hassle and a headache. Honestly, if I knew this could be an issue, I wouldn't have gone with this board. But at the same time, I do like the aesthetic look of the board, like the RGB you might have seen when it flashed in here. This has got RGB in it, and the board just looks nice. The gapping between everything's nice. The piece or the slots here, which I'll be using soon, are good, and it just fits nice. Like, it suits the case quite well. Cable management's so nice. Like, besides having this one here, which will be tucked away and actually probably run through here or here, I'm not too sure yet. But yeah, it's sort of just one of those things that it's a headache, it's a hassle, and the reason I've come to the theory it's a boot problem is because after reading a lot about it, a lot of these motherboards with the RGB won't run until you're in the BIOS. And I've got no USB ports. I've tried a real old school method I've found to see if it was actually a motherboard fault. So you pretty much get an old USB stick with the LED flasher in it, plug it into either the front panel or the back panel. And if the LED flashes, it means that the computer is able to boot. But if there's another issue, it won't. So I've done that. Everything's connected, like all the CPU up there, the big power supply or motherboard power is all connected, and that sort of gives you an idea. It's just a pain. I've had so many issues with doing this build/project. I've had 3D printers that sent now twice that are missing parts completely wrong, and things like that. So that's been a setback. And now to have all the computer parts here and spent probably $2,000 maybe on the computer setup by the time I brought all the case, the fans, the CPU, the RAM, and the motherboard, all that kind of stuff, the keyboard, the mouse pad, blah, blah, blah. Like, it's sort of annoying to be able to have it all sitting here ready to go together, put it all together and find that you've got a problem. But I guess that's part and parcel with building your own computer and not buying a pre-built one. But you do save money, and at the end of the day you get a computer that is designed for you and what you want. But yeah, for any of you who are wondering, I can leave a PC part picker link in the description to the exact computer I built, and I'll give you an exact price. I'm only guessing because on how much I spent, because I built this thing over time. So it'll be the last 2 months I've been buying up parts. But if you wanted to see a better video on this, I'm happy to do one. I'll probably be doing other videos based around the computer, the setup, and the 3D printer once that's all sorted, as well as how to 3D scan items and put them into the system. So I'll be 3D printing. The first thing I'll be 3D printing is that left vent surround for the CEF, and I'll be 3D printing a 32 manual gear surround. So yeah, keep watching, guys. Thanks for the support. Like, subscribe, and it'll be sort of a mix between PC videos, car videos, full driving videos, and that'll be coming out soon on what we've actually just gone and done. Some of you might have seen the vehicle in the video, in some of the earlier videos in the paddock. But yeah, have a good one, guys. Enjoy your weekend, and yeah, laters.